I'm Michael Tilley. I'm with Tilley Custom Restoration out of Des Moines, Iowa. We're a small four-man shop, family-owned. We do most of our restorations out of a small shop. We like to kind of keep it that way so we can kind of pick and choose the fun cars that we like to work on. Well, the idea kind of started from putting the motor and transmission that's in it into the car. It was a pretty rough 1970 Mustang when it started. He liked the 1969, so we incorporated elements of that build into the vehicle and then tied it all together with the 2014 Shelby look. It kind of snowballed because we started doing a few little things, and then of course we went further and further with the body kit, the body look, the custom touches that we did. The interior was kind of, it brought together everything on the outside with all the modern electronics, the wireless Bluetooth, wireless phone charger, and all that. So yeah, it's kind of funny because it was intended to be just, a really simple, clean driver Mustang, but once we saw how far we could go with it, then we just went crazy. So we went with the TCI Stage 3 Performance Package. We wanted to do that because of the motor and the power that it has, and the torque arm with the suspension really beefens it up. And the torque arm in the back is just incredible to get the back end planted where it needs to be under power. So it was really important that it handled as well as it looked. Working with TCI and Ride Tech, they helped us figure out a way to get the front suspension to work with the new motor package that we wanted to do that nobody else has ever done. So, in working with them through that, they really helped us guide to the direction that we needed to go. And once we kind of got some input from them, we had an idea what to do for everything else. So the body, no panel was left untouched. Every single part of the car was customized. We used the stock 1970 body and what factory parts we could, and just modified it from there with the ground effects kit that's on it. It's all fiberglass. The whole front nose is carbon fiber. And then we wanted to go with that molded, clean look. So we tied in the factory headlight extensions, the quarter panel extensions, the side scoops, all that was molded in to give it a very clean body line. The hood is probably about the centerpiece of the car. Because of how big the motor and the supercharger was, we had to actually raise the hood 6 inches, and we didn't want it to just look like a big ugly block. So we kind of went with the old racing style with a nice big sweep and the rounded back end of it to give it that concave look. Well, the drivetrain is out of a 2014 Shelby GT500. We used the motor and the transmission out of that, and then we had a custom drive shaft built, a solid forward 9-inch that was built as well with the limited slip. Then we had to beef up the brakes and everything else for the power as well. So it has Wilwood 6 pistons on the front, 4 pistons on the back, drilled and slotted, of course. Wheel and tires are also off the 2014 Shelby to give it that full, complete look and package. I believe there are 20s in the back and 19s in the front, and they're about the widest option they make. And the tires, I believe, are 295 in the back or wider. We had to widen out the back a little bit to get such a big tire under it. In the front, you're kind of limited on these Mustangs because they had 14s from factory. So turning radius is really important on these. So with the rack and pinion steering with stops on it as well, made it important that we could have good turning angle and approach. So the interior, we wanted to keep it as factory looking as we could, but with the modern touches. So we kept the original factory style dash, and we went with modern Dakota digital gauges, all the push button LED electronics, and we made it all nice and neat so there's no wires, nothing exposed, and just kept it incredibly clean. The paint is Sikkens Deep Impact Blue off the 2014 Shelby Mustang, and then we also went with Sikkens white stripes to match it to the 2014 style. And all of our graphics are buried in the clear so you can't feel it. We painted in the GT500 M1 that's on the side. It just gives it a whole different look to it. The debut of the car, the first time it was out, it went to the Des Moines Heartland Nationals Good Guys show, and it won the Ford Muscle Pick up against some really incredible builds. So at the shop, we put 150 testing miles on it, just as we do with any other build. And then the customer actually rode with us to the first show of the debut when the car was finished. So that way we could drive it and talk about what was going on and get a feel for it. I would compare it to a new Shelby Mustang, just with that old vintage feel.